Alright, I'm gonna teach you how to do this week of geometry. Today we're gonna focus on literally everything. So it's gonna start with some distance, which is pretty simple. Then we'll go to standard form. Then we'll do general form. And then we'll be done. And you'll learn everything. Disclaimer, by the way, I'm not a teacher. I won't do this better than our teacher. But I have a very soothing voice. So, here we go. And yes, I'm eating goldfish. I don't really care. Alright, how to find distance. We're going to have 2 points. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 7. These are just random numbers I'm coming up with. I don't know. So here's your distance formula. You got D equals x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And then we're going to find the square root of those two very quickly. So x2 is 3 because it is. So 3. And x1 is 1, so 3 minus 1 squared plus 7 minus 2 squared. So 5 squared plus 2 squared square root, and then D equals. So 4 plus 25 is 29. Terrible number, but whatever. So your distance is the square root of 29. I'm not going to try to square root that because my calculator is not in this room. So, moving on to some standard form. It's pretty simple, but you know how it be sometimes. So x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. These are very important. Equals r squared. These are your center points. Boom. If you don't have these, your center is 0. Write that down. Your center will be 0 if those are not there. If they are there, they're going to be the opposite number as the sign. So if it's a plus, it's going to be a negative. If it's a minus, it's going to be a positive. I am killing these goldfish right now. Anywho. So that's your standard form. Right there. General form is where you actually got to start doing stuff. It's not hard doing stuff, but you do have to start doing stuff. So, general form. We're going to do this one by completing the square, which is simple. The little formula here is b divided by 2 squared. I'm sorry I'm not writing these very well. My paper is on a folder. As you can see, my paper is on a folder. So it's going to be x squared. So ax squared plus bx, and then plus cy plus, well, cy squared plus dy plus e equals r squared. Well, not yet. It'll equal 0 for now. 0. See that? That is very beautiful 0. I'd hit that. Anyways, ax squared. So I'm just gonna think of a random number, and by random I'm just gonna write a 1 because I'd rather not do anything. Now make sure you understand that if there's nothing before the x, it is a 1. You've made this mistake many times. It makes me very mad. Anywho, I'm gonna make these even numbers so that's easier for me. So 6x plus y squared plus 8y plus 16. Why not? Equals 0. You subtract the 16, and then to keep it even, you have to subtract it on this side. So it's going to be negative 16. And then equal sign. Here's where it gets funky. It's time to get. Okay. I like to think of it as making two trinomials. So a trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c. So you're doing two of those. But you don't have a c for both of the trinomials, right? So that's where completing the square comes in. So you're going to start x squared plus 6x plus blank. That blank will be filled. Plus y squared plus 8y plus blank. Now you gotta do that on both sides, because if you don't, you are a psychopath. So plus blank plus blank, because you have two blanks on one side, so you gotta have two blanks. See that? Two blanks on the other side. So how do you fill the blanks? Well, that is a good question. This is how you fill the blanks. So your b is 6x and your b is 8y, because these are two trinomials. So you have two b's. So 6 divided by 2 squared, 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. 8 divided by 2 squared, 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. And since you're not a psychopath, you have to put the 9 and the 16 on these sides. And you got to factor, just like you do for a regular trinomial equation. So, simple enough. You gotta do something that multiplies and adds. So multiplies to the c, adds to the b. So it's going to be x plus 3 squared. Since you're not a psychopath, you're not going to write it x plus 3 squared times x plus, or x plus 3 times x plus 3, because that's annoying and it's stupid, and you shouldn't do that. Well, you don't. It's not wrong, but don't do it, because you're not a psychopath. Anyway, so what times what gets you 16, but also gets you 8y? 4. Good job. Dylan. Y plus 4 squared equals negative 16 plus 9 plus 16. All right. So 16 minus 9 is going to be 7. 16 plus 7 is 23. Yeah. All right. So this number also sucks because these numbers came from my head, and numbers from your head are numbers that suck. So equals 23. So that's r squared. Your center points are going to be the opposite of the sign. So your center equals negative 3, comma, negative 4. And your r equals 23 because you have to find the square root of r squared. So r squared equals 23, or the square root of 23. Wait, no. R squared is regular 23. R squared is 23. R squared is 23. So you gotta square root r squared, square root 23, and that gets you 23. Wait. R squared is the square root of 23. Oh. R squared is regular 23. R is the square root of 23. I suck. I'm a psychopath. So these are your two answers. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm sorry I suck. And good luck this week of geometry. Dylan, don't get all the questions wrong on the next Kahoot. Thank you, and peace out.